Mojtaba shocks BB, threatens attack. And it's not over Iran but another nation. Iran warns it could close the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and bomb northern Israel if the IDF attacks Lebanon. After the US loses control in the Strait of Hormuz, Tehran says it will ratchet up pressure by targeting a second choke point. As tensions continue to rise across the Middle East, Iran has issued a fresh warning to Israel. A senior Iranian commander said Israeli action in Lebanon could trigger a broader response. IRGC Quds force commander Esmail Qa'ani accused Israel and the United States of continuing aggression. The war is entering a more dangerous phase, Qa'ani said, according to Fast News agency. Qa'ani threatened to equalize traffic conditions in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Strait of Hormuz, the report added. His remark was widely interpreted as a warning that Iran could shut the Bab el-Mandeb, as it has threatened in the Strait of Hormuz. The Bab el-Mandeb connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden and serves as a key route for global shipping. A shutdown of the Hormuz Strait has already caused major oil disruptions across the world. Qa'ani warned that continued operations could lead to the activation of additional fronts in the Middle East. He said Israeli strikes were strengthening the determination of the so-called axis of resistance. Qa'ani warning referenced two of the world's most strategic maritime choke points. Even as Trump called for restraint, Iran raised the stakes with a direct warning aimed at Israel. The warning was addressed to residents of northern Israel as concerns grew over possible regional escalation. Iran's Qatar al-Anbiya headquarters warned Israelis to leave northern areas if Beirut is targeted by Israeli strikes. Ali Abdullahi said, and I quote, "Given Israel's repeated violations of the ceasefire, if this threat is carried out, we warn residents of northern areas and military settlements in Israel to leave the area if they do not want to be harmed." Unquote. The warning came after Israeli officials threatened military action against Beirut and its southern suburbs. Iran cautioned that any expansion of Israeli operations in Lebanon could lead to a much wider conflict. Reports suggest Trump and Netanyahu held a tense phone conversation as the Lebanon crisis continued to worsen. Trump reportedly urged restraint, warning that a strike on Beirut could undermine ongoing diplomatic efforts. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "I had a conversation with Bibi Netanyahu today, asking him not to go into a major raid of Beirut, Lebanon. He turned his troops around. Thank you, Bibi. I also had a conversation with representatives of the leaders of Hezbollah, and they agreed to stop shooting at Israel and its soldiers. Likewise, Israel agreed to stop shooting at them. Let's see how long that lasts. Hopefully it will be for eternity." Unquote. According to Axios, the discussion became heated as the two leaders clashed over Israel's approach to Lebanon. Axios reported that Trump sharply criticized Netanyahu and accused him of acting recklessly during the call. According to Axios, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "You're crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this." Reports further claim that Trump stepped in to prevent a planned Israeli strike on Beirut. Trump later said both Israel and Hezbollah had agreed to stop firing and de-escalate tensions. But renewed exchanges of fire soon cast doubt on how long any ceasefire arrangement might last. Netanyahu said he made it clear to Trump that Israel would target Beirut if Hezbollah continued its attacks. The Israeli Prime Minister added that military operations in southern Lebanon would proceed as planned. Benjamin Netanyahu said, and I quote, "I spoke this evening with President Trump and told him that if Hezbollah does not stop firing at our cities and citizens, Israel will strike terrorist targets in Beirut. This position of ours remain unchanged. Concurrently, the IDF will continue to operate as planned in southern Lebanon." Unquote. Israel had earlier ordered strikes on targets in Beirut's southern suburbs in response to Hezbollah attacks. The IRGC warned that any Israeli move crossing what Tehran considers its red lines in Lebanon would be treated as a direct war against Iran and its allies. Iran also warned that further Israeli escalation in Lebanon could trigger the opening of new fronts across the region, significantly widening the conflict. Tehran signaled that developments in Lebanon are closely tied to its wider regional security strategy and the interests of the so-called resistance axis.